there's a fair few sites that I want to show you here, but just before we start doing that, I did just now find this one, and it's an old image of the Colosseum in Rome before archaeologists managed to get their hands all over it and turn it into what we see today. I've never visited the site, but I've never seen this image either, and to me this does look nothing like what they present in their narrative, like this was some site where people were in there slaughtering each other. I will have to look at this a bit more and find more on it, but I just thought it would be interesting for you to look at. Just like this thing here, they've just recently excavated this, and they've labelled this some type of garden, like a greenhouse, as if you would be planting various vegetables in between these squares. But you know what I think to that? I think that this is some type of flooring, some type of roofing, okay? So obviously archaeologists and their students have been in there at some point and dressed it up to fit their narrative like it is or was some type of greenhouse, okay? I'm not interested in any of that. To me, it's the top of a house, right? It's something like that, some type of flooring. Anyway, we'll move on. Just because they find thousands and thousands of pots all piled up in a corner does not mean that this was some type of dump. You know, this was a big city, and this is where everybody just dumped all their rubbish, right? Obviously, some floods, some tsunami could have easily come in here and piled all this stuff up. I've said before, if a civilization like ours today went through some major cataclysm, like the kind of stuff that we seem to be studying here, exactly what do you think would be left of all the roads now, all the concrete, especially the tarmac, all these buildings made out of rebar and concrete, the plastic, the glass? Anything man-made would just go back to the earth. There would be basically nothing left. Anyway, I've been rambling on a bit there while I've been placing text on the screen for you to read. There's really two sites that I want to look at. One is the colossal, the two statues of Memnon, and then I want to look at the smallest pyramid there in Giza. Just before we start looking at the two colossal statues, I just want you to take a look at this thing, right? Because everybody on Earth thinks that these things have been carved from some quarry 500 to 1,000 miles away and then carted around somehow, when we today couldn't do it with about 20 tanks, especially over desert, because it's all sand now. So anyway, after showing you those images there with the red circles around them, I'm going to leave you with these just for the next 2 minutes. I'll lay some music over them. These are the largest and best images of the Colossi that I could find across the net, and you can come up with your own mind as to whether these things were placed on some wooden ship at 1,000 tons each and somehow not sink to the depths. You see, if somebody that was capable of building skyscrapers were to go to a site like this, it's the smallest pyramid of the three there on Giza, and they were looking at a sloped edge like this with big, large blocks that seemed to span out on the floor to just nowhere, just makes no sense to me. This thing looks like it's either collapsed or there's obviously a lot more under the sands, and there has to be a lot more, because what most people don't seem to understand is just how much concrete that you have to lay to even be able to build a structure like this above. I mean, what do people think that all these massive structures are actually sitting on? Well, if it wasn't for you people donating, I would have given this up some time ago, so I cannot thank you enough. Well, if you like that, ladies and gentlemen, and you want to help the channel moving forward, you can press on the link in a pinned comment, which will be in every video from now on. Thank you.